Right, let's go.
Hi guys, welcome to the lesson on how to play the solo from Some Might Say. So this is one someone requested. I've already put a few videos out on Some Might Say. This is me going to be going through the solo. What I'm going to do quite quickly is I'm going to go through what is kind of the interlude solo, which is an overdubbed guitar solo just before the solo kicks in. This should be played with a bit of phaser. So what you want to do is just flick your phaser on. Not too crazy phasery, but just a little bit of phaser. I don't have a phaser. I'm going to be honest. I've got a chorus. I tried it with that. It didn't sound right at all because it's a different effect. You know, there's some similarities, but it's a different effect, so it didn't sound quite right. So I'm going to do it with no phaser. If you do have a phaser, now would be the time to use it for this interlude solo. So I'm going to go through this bit quite quickly and then we'll do the main solo. Okay, so the interlude solo starts with a slide from 9 to 11. Then we're going to go back and play 9 again. This time with our first finger. So you do the slide with your ring finger. So your first finger's then in the right place to play the next note. Then I'm going to play 7, and this is all on the G string. So you got. Then I'm going to play 9 again on the G string. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the 9 up so it sounds like the 10th fret. So it's only a half tone bend, a 1 fret bend. I'm going to pull it back down again. And then I'm going to play 7 twice. So that's my first lick. Oh, that was rubbish. Then I'm going to play 7 again on the G. Then 9 on the D. Then 7 on the G. Then I'm going to do that same bend again and the same 2 7s afterwards. So it's going to be... like that. So those are our first 2 licks. And then to end this bit, I'm going to play 7 again on the G. Then I'm going to slide from 9 to 11. Then I'm going to play 10 on the B. Then 12 on the B. Then I'm going to play 10 on the E. And then 12 on the E. As you can see, I'm doing that 2 and 4 just because of the way I've done that slide. So that makes sense for me, but again, I don't. As I said when I was doing the video on how to play the intro solo, it doesn't matter really if you flick there, that would still work. But it's just the way I like to do it is with 2 and 4. Okay, there you go. So let me just quickly play that through, and when I say quickly again, as usual, I mean slowly. Play that through, and then we'll crack on with the main chunk of the solo. So it's going to be. Okay, so that's the interlude solo, which you do have enough time to play and then crack on with the main solo. So you're basically ending on the and of 3, I think, on the previous bar. So you'd have time to then turn off your phaser and then step on to and then you wouldn't need to step onto anything else. Just turn off your phaser. I'm just talking rubbish. I think in the song though it is an overdub, so. You know, do what you want. Okay, so let's do the main solo. So this is going to have a lot of the same things, a lot of the same stuff that we saw in that intro solo. So if you've looked at that, this will be pretty simple. If you haven't, that's absolutely fine because I'm still going to go through it all. But it's yeah, a lot of similarities. So basically, just as a little bit of a background, D major pentatonic is the main scale we're going to be using. Position 5. Which is the shape everyone knows, like minor pentatonic wise, but now obviously we're doing it in a major pentatonic. And then we've also got position 1, which is here. Now I've done a couple of videos on those, but not in the key of D, but in the key of E, but you can still get the shapes. I'll put links in the description just so you can link to those shapes if you don't know them as well. But that's what we're doing. A lot of major pentatonic licks in Noel Gallagher's Armoury. So we're going to do some more today. It starts on the beat. We're going to be playing over a D chord. And we're going to play this lick. It's going to be D string, hammer on, D string 7th fret, hammer on to 9th fret. Then I'm going to play 7 on the G. That's quite a fast hammer actually as well. Okay, so that's a classic lick over it. D major lick. Just works, doesn't it? So the next lick, we've got a short pause. What is it? It's a beat. You hold that for, so a crotchet. we're then going to play 9 on the D. I'm going to play that with my ring finger. Then 7 on the G with my first finger. Then back to 9 on the D with my ring finger. Okay, so you got a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Then 7 again on the G. Then 9 on the G. So you can feel that there's a bend coming, and there is. But unlike in that interlude solo, we're actually going to do a full tone bend, and a tone bend is basically a 2-fret bend, okay? So this note is an E note here, okay? And we're going to bend it to an F sharp note. This is an F sharp note here, so it's going to be... Oh, that was a little sharp. No, seriously, that was a little sharp. It wasn't very good. That was better. So that's the bend. So you can feel the build up. So you've got that first little hammer on, quite a fast hammer on, and then you've got this... Okay, then we're going to play 7 on the G, which you'd expect, and then we're going to do again a very fast hammer on, but this time it's going to be G string 7 to 9. So. And then basically we're then going to get into a whole next section. The licks in this solo do really there's not a lot of pauses, they do kind of go into each other, but I'm going to break them up just in certain places to make it a little bit easier to digest the solo. And that's where I'm going to take that first little break up. So that's our first little bit. Okay. Now get ready to do some barring and double stops and some sliding and moving like this. Okay, so again, if you saw the intro video, it's going to be a lot of the same stuff. Next note, it's hard to tell whether it's a double stop, which would be 2 notes, or it's just the G string. I think I'm going to say go with your heart. I'm probably just going to play the G string on its own, but you could play both. So G string 7th fret is what I'm going to say. But if you feel it sounds more like a double stop, feel free to play the B string as well. Or I'm going to go just with that though. So this is after that. Okay, then we're going to go to this shape. It's going to be 8 on the B string and 9 on the G string. So it's 8 with your middle finger and then 9 with your ring finger. And we're doing this because we don't want to shift here, because then we've got a lot more moving between those. I mean, it's not, you know, you could do it, but it just makes so much more sense to not do it like that and to do it like this. So it's going to be, this is when it starts to get confusing in terms of how many we do, and as I mentioned in the intro solo video that I did on this, I did find this song really difficult actually to get all the timings right. But anyway, I digress as usual. 8 and 9 is what we're going to play next. So we just played the 7 on the G, then we're going to play 8 and 9. Then we're going to go back and play 7. This time I am going to double stop it. I'm going to play both of those. It's going to be the B and the G strings. That's 7. Then I'm going to play the 8 and the 9 again. Okay. Then I'm going to play the 7 again. Okay. So it's a bit of a strange one. So it's basically 7 on the G, then 8 and 9, then 7 double stop, then 8 and 9, then 7 double stop. Yeah? And that one, I think, is just a slightly longer hold. So it's going to be, normally these would be quavers, which are half beats. We're going to hold it for 8th beats if you're American, 8th notes if you're American. And we're going to hold it for basically a crotchet length, okay? So it should be a quarter beat if you're American. I don't know if I'm saying it like that. So it's going to be slightly longer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this 8 and 9, then I'm going to slide up 2 frets, so it's going to end up being 10 and 11. It's quite a slow bend actually. It's not it's more a I've listened to this song a lot recently, quite a lot at 50% speed, so that I can learn this solo properly. And just that's how it sounds to me. You hold that half a beat longer than you'd expect. Quite a slow slide up to that 10-11. We're then going to re-pick that 10-11. Then we're going to go back and play 8-9, then 7-7. Okay, so I'm going to play that little bit now together. Yeah, so it's just so you can see it. Slightly longer hold, slow slide. Okay, now there again we've got basically a crotchet length notes, so it's going to be 2 quavers put together, one at the end of 4 and one on the first beat of the next bar. Then our next 3 notes are going to be the 8 and the 9, then the 7 and the 7, then the 8 and the 9, so it's going to be like that. And that's going to come in at the and of 1 on that 4th bar in the solo. Okay. Whew, so getting confusing already. So next bit is going to be the other way around. It's going to be double stop 7, then 8 and 9, then double stop 7. But this lick is going to go then on to the next lick. So it's going to be... Okay, so it's going to be a lot of stuff all together. So it's going to be double stop 7, that 8 and 9, then that 2 7s, okay? Then we're going to go, after that, 7, 8, 7s, 8 and 9, 7s, we're then going to go straight into that slide, so it's going to be... Then I'm going to re-pick that, which is 10 and 11. Then I'm going to play 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 7 and 7. So we got... Then I'm going to go do exactly the same thing again, basically, for a whole other bar. I'm going to do the slide, re-pick that, then I'm going to play 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 7 and 7, 8 and 9, 7 and 7. Okay, so yeah, I've already played obviously that little section through, so you can see me playing both bits together. But that's basically how it goes. So I'll do it a bit slower this time, so it's yeah. So from the previous bar, basically, so it's... Then the next 2 bars are the same. Okay, we're nearly there. 2 more bars to go. 8 and 9 again, shocking, that's what we're going to play. It's quite a short note, actually, that one. It's just on its own. And then we're going to play 8 and 9 and then the 7s. So you end up with, after going, is the next bar. Then we've got another 8 and 9, then another 7 and 7, and we're going to slide 8 and 9 to 10 and 11. I'm going to re-pick that twice, go back to 8 and 9. I'm then just going to pick the 9 on its own, exciting times, then 7 and 7. So we end up with those final 2 bars being... Okay, that's actually the whole solo. So let me just see if I can play that through for you without messing it up too badly. I've got my little notes here that I'm just adjusting because I always forget this solo. And it's been the bane of my existence for like a week and a half, 2 weeks of me being rubbish at playing guitar. Right, anyway, come on, Paul, you can do this. Okay, so that was it played through slowly. I'm sure you guys are going to be much better at this solo than I've been, because I've really struggled with this. But that is the main solo, from some might say, with the little bit of interlude solo on top. Just as a little note, later on in the song there's some licks played over the verse section. It's a lot of these shapes. So think position 5 major pentatonic in the key of D. There's my D note, that's my root note there. That's what he plays most of those licks in. There's the odd little bit where he slides up to there, but it's most, if I get the right key, it's mostly here, that kind of stuff. Have a little bit of a play around with it. It's a really cool chord sequence to play over in a major key. So a lot of people, especially if you play blues, are used to having that minor sound. So if you played over a D blues, you'd be more here. So what he's doing is he's playing over a D major, and he's playing here. It just changes the feel slightly. You know, obviously, if you're a bit more experienced with guitar, you'll know that a lot of blues people mix between the two. You know, listen to B.B. King and he'll play, you know, stuff like to start off Sweet Little Angel. But it's a really, really cool. I've enjoyed learning some Noel Gallagher licks. There's more to come. I've got a list of, I think, 4 or 5 Noel Gallagher songs, well, Oasis songs, I should say, to get through, and I'm going to try and get through those over the next few weeks. But anyway, so there's my little bit of kind of a wrap-up, a little summary. So both solos done now. I've also gone through all of the chord sequences of this song. Please, I'm just going a lot. Okay, so please like this video. It really, really helps. Subscribe to the channel. If you comment on the video, if you just say nice video, or you say, oh, your hand looks weirdly big, anything, it doesn't matter as long as it's nice. It would be really, really good. Blah, blah, blah. I think it's time to probably stop now because I'm just mumbling incoherently. And I will see you again soon, possibly for some more Oasis. But from a different album, excitingly, not What's the Story. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.